What's going on, everybody? Let's jump straight into this. Had this big move down yesterday. We created a single print, so a incomplete auction, roughly at about 87.5. Took the long. We put this on X last night to fill that gap, and that did happen early this morning. I think it was right after the NFP print and some other data came out. And I want to really focus on this because there's multiple ways that you can play this market. Most people are not going to probably like this price action, which is really intraday sort of stuff, right? It's lower liquidity. You're getting these bigger moves intraday, so your average true range is probably bigger than maybe what you're used to. And that's the kind of market that you want to be taking advantage of as a trader, getting in and out of stuff, not round tripping. In terms of bigger swing trades, we can talk a little bit about that later on in the video, but I want to stick to the lower time frame stuff because that's really my game. That's what I excel at. That's what I do mostly is lower time frame stuff, the microstructure. And some of you guys may be interested in that. So this video is for you. All right, so what do we do about this, right? Like, obviously the market is in a downtrend at this point. It's not hard to see. If we zoom out here, we talked about this in the last video that clearly Bitcoin is cooked. You can try to look at it in all these different ways, but at the end of the day, from a technical standpoint, Bitcoin is cooked. And that is why one of the reasons it's having such a hard time is people realize this and they don't really want to buy until we're probably closer to, in my opinion, lower 70s and at really minimum maybe like 80. Okay. So naturally you're going to see, in my opinion, people willing to sell quite a bit as long as we're up here, and you won't have the demand to absorb that until you get, again, probably below 80. Now, it's obvious that this is the case, and this is one of the reasons why we have these short squeezes in the first place. As you can see that, like when we had this move down yesterday, let's zoom out here. Clearly some shorts started to pile in. And as you can see, many of them had to jump off as we started going higher. And that's really the gameplay here is we are really moving lower. Shorts get a little bit aggressive. And naturally, some of them are going to have to jump off and price goes against them. But that's really the moves we are seeing to the upside. Now, I will say that this is one good thing about the flow right now is perps are not nearly as horny to the upside as they had been. They're actually a little bit, they're actually leading to the downside. So they could, basically they could be offside actually. Now, in a bear market, you kind of have to expect that that's going to happen though. Like shorts get away with it for long periods of time. Eventually they get taken out, but it's not like you can look at this and say, oh, shorts are offsides, we're going to go up. Maybe. When I do see these gaps, I will take longs, but I think the key takeaway from the last few weeks is take advantage of the incomplete auctions because that's really what this is. Take advantage of these single print gaps that are created where we don't spend a lot of time at. We typically go back to them. That's been your high hit rate trade. Executing around that is really going to be the challenge, but that's where the opportunity is, in my opinion, from an intraday standpoint. We don't have any prints really left to fill out anywhere close by right now. We do have one that is higher up here that we didn't fill out, but that could be filled maybe, weeks from now. I wouldn't just like say, oh, let's long here to fill this gap out. Like maybe it gets, filled later or maybe not at all. So I don't really see any kind of setups right now, but I just want to throw this out here that when you see my content on X, this is what it's going to be covering because this is the high hit rate trades right now. Is taking advantage of positioning when you see these incomplete auctions. Let's zoom out a little bit here and talk about the higher time frame again before we close this video out. I'm going to keep these things really short. I don't believe that we are going to find a bid until we get to the lower 70s. So we talked about the low time frame. Follow me on X. I'll be covering setups when we see them. I don't see one right now. But if you're looking at the higher time frame and you're wondering about swing trading, if anything, you could be short right now. I will say that I'm not one to want to recommend shorting after a 30% move to the downside without any significant bounce. But if you had to take a trade, I don't think you should, but that would be where you'd probably have to go. This structure is very ugly. It's very obvious. I don't think you're going to find a good swing trading opportunity to the upside until we retest at least 82 or lower. Pretty much this whole area here is what I'm interested in. And I don't know where we're going to bottom. We may spend a lot of time in here. We may V-shape out of here. I don't know. But this is when I start to pay attention for swing longs. It's somewhere around 82 or lower. And I say 82, just really anywhere around this previous low. I want to see the reaction. I want to see if we're establishing value around it. Are people dumping into it? What does it look like, right? Until we get that, I don't think there's any reason to be excited about a higher time frame long. So, it really is that simple. I don't have to spend a whole lot of time on this video. This is probably going to be not the best time for people to be entering large positions, considering you have the tax loss harvesting as we get into the next few weeks, and then people just tune out going into Christmas. However, positioning will still be getting built up, and we will see these moves higher and lower, these BARTs, all the stuff that we've been seeing. You're going to continue to see that over the next few weeks because people will take advantage of positioning. That is the trades that we will be talking about. But until we see something, there's really no point in going into a video, a further in-depth video on any trades. Just kind of wanted to give you guys an update. Until next time, happy hunting, friends.